Hi everyone, it's Carissa. Today I wanted to show you how to change colors in crochet. So I have a small swatch here of single crochet that I'm working on, and I'm about to change colors at the end of this row. So first I'm going to work to the end of this row, but I'm not going to complete that very last stitch yet. So in single crochet, I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through two, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through two. And now here's my last stitch. I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, but I'm not going to complete this stitch. So I'm not going to work the last step of this stitch with the old yarn. I'm going to work it with the new yarn. So I take my tail and I'll leave myself about 4 or 5 inches here, and I will simply fold the yarn in half. I'm not making a slip knot, I'm just folding it in half. And where I've folded it, I'm going to pinch that loop and I will put that onto my crochet hook and use my hook to pull that loop through the 2 loops on my hook. And now I've completed that last single crochet of the white row with the green yarn. I'm going to take all 3 strands of yarn, the tail of my old color, the tail of my new color, and the working yarn of my new color. And I'm going to give those, all 3 of them, just a little bit of a tug, just to tighten that last stitch a little bit. Now I'm going to drop the 2 tails, the old and the new color tails, and just with my working yarn of the new color, I'm going to work my turning chain. So chain 1 for single crochet, and I will turn my work. And now I'm going to take those 2 tails, I'm going to bring them to the back of my work, and I'm going to hold them alongside my fabric, along the top edge of the previous row here. And as I work across the first few stitches of this row, I'm going to work around the tails as well. And that will weave in my tails as I go, so I don't have to do that at the end of my project. So to work this first stitch, I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch and make sure that it goes underneath the 2 tails as well. And then I will yarn over and drop a loop. So that loop has now gone under those 2 tails as well as through the first stitch of the fabric. Yarn over and pull through 2. And now those tails are trapped inside that stitch. And I'm going to repeat that. So into the next stitch, I will insert my hook and make sure my hook goes under both of the tails as well. We'll yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. And now I've worked that stitch around the 2 tails again. So the tails are trapped inside those 2 stitches that I've worked. Going to continue that across. So insert my hook into the next stitch and under both tails, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, into the stitch and under the tails, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to do this for about 6, 7, 8 stitches, something like that, just enough to make sure that our tails are nice and secure. And then once I've done 6 or 8 stitches, I'm just going to leave those tails, let them hang in the back, and I will finish my row as normal. So I'm going to work the last couple single crochets just like normal and finish this row. So now I have changed color, and on the back of my work here, can see my tails are trapped inside the fabric in those first several stitches. So now I can just take my scissors and snip those tails off right close to the fabric. And they're already woven in. I won't have to do that at the end of my project. So that is how you change colors in single crochet. To do this in any other crochet stitch, you would work it in a similar fashion. On the last stitch of the old color, you would simply not work the final step of that stitch with the old color. You would grab your new color and complete that final stitch with your new color instead. And then as you work across the next row, work around the tails of your yarn to weave them in at the same time. I hope you found this video helpful.